Of course, Ravens Rams coming up Sunday here in Baltimore. And our next guest, who's not originally from here, but we claim him nonetheless, as he is the pride of St. Francis. He gets to spend a whole week back this way as the Rams are coming in not only to play the game, but then they're going to be hanging out for a week before they head overseas. He is Rams running back and former St. Francis Panther. Blake Corum is back with us now here on GCR. Blake, it's Glenn. It's great to see you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Nah, no problem, man. I'm glad we're able to talk.
Dude, how excited were you, right? Like when you found out that you guys are going to be able to spend a week out this way. I know it's still not home. Like I know there's
Yeah.
probably challenges that come with that, but not far from where your family is in Northern Virginia and everybody you know around here. Like how
hmm
fired up were you when you got the word like, "Hey, we're going out there for a week?"
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have lined any better, right? I mean, out of all places, we're staying in Baltimore for a week. I'm able to see, my family. I'm gonna shoot over to St. Francis one of the days. Uh, it's awesome, man. Being back in the city. No, it's gonna be a good time.
I've done a lot of work with St. Francis over the years. Messiah hasn't hit you up to like take the whole team to dinner or anything like that yet, has he?
Nah, not yet, not yet. Maybe he's waiting until I get there.
What about, okay, so from the time that you spent here, what's something that you're most looking forward to doing specifically while you're here in Baltimore?
Well, obviously winning.
Ha!
Um, but
That's that's the right
other,
answer.
other other than that, seeing my family. I have
Yeah.
a lot of family coming to the game. Being able to go out to dinner with them. So I would say that's what I'm most excited about.
Did you ever go to an Orioles game when you lived here, Blake? Did you ever like
So
spend?
when I lived there during high school, no.
Okay.
But when I was younger, we might have went to like the aquarium, my
Okay.
family and I.
Okay.
And then we shot over to an Orioles game when I was younger.
Okay.
But
This is
uh,
this
but
is
you know,
really kind of
I, I,
crazy.
I
Like I don't know if you
but
know
I
this.
played baseball growing up,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I played at like Cal Ripken, and they have I believe the Orioles Stadium
Hmm.
is one of the stadiums at Cal Ripken. I played at the Cal Ripken in was it Maryland,
In
and
Aberdeen. Yep.
then in Aberdeen, and then the one in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Um, so they had the Green Monster, they had the Orioles, but I've only been to Orioles game once.
Okay, so I don't know if you know this, but you guys are going to be practicing at Camden Yards, the baseball stadium next
hmm
week. No one's ever played football there before. Like, you're actually kind of making it like one of the most historic baseball stadiums there is. You're kind of making history. There's never been a football field put down at Camden Yards before. So you guys are getting to do something no one's ever done, which I actually think is really cool.
No, that is, being the first to do something, that's always awesome. It's gonna be a good time, man.
That's awesome, man. Blake, again, happy for your success. I wonder, for you, as you've moved into this role, sort of being the number two guy in LA, what is it? How difficult is it to be a backup running back in the NFL, right? Like, how tough is it to not know, hey, this week I'm going to get this number of carries or this number of targets or play this number of snaps? What does it require of you to be your best when you don't know exactly what the role might look like week to week?
Just always staying ready, I feel like I've stayed ready my whole life for, every opportunity I get, just to take advantage of, and just being the best version of myself, whether I'm in or out, if I'm out, helping my teammates, cheering them on, whatever I can do to help the team win. When I'm in, taking care of the fundamentals, um, and just going to play fast and having fun. So, being, RB2, there's a lot of good that comes with that. And it's all about perspective at the end of the day, right? When you put things into perspective, so just staying ready, for every each and every opportunity, controlling what you can, and we have an amazing, backfield, and so I'm enjoying it, man. Yeah.
When things don't go your way, right? Like and I know obviously it was the whole team the last time out, but I know it was a tough play in there for you as well. How do you handle that? How do you not allow yourself to, dwell on it and to learn from it and to be better the next time you're out there?
Yeah, it's adversity, man. I've played every sport. I wrestled for what 8, 9 years.
Did
I
you
didn't win
wrestle
them
at St.
all.
Francis?
So when I was there, St. Francis didn't have
That's what
wrestling.
I thought.
I
That's what I
wrestled,
thought.
I wrestled at I wrestled at Pilates when I
Okay.
was at Pilates my freshman and sophomore year. I went to national preps. But I've played a lot of sports, right? So I wrestled, and that's a one-on-one sport, and I've lost, right? You hit a little adversity. What are you gonna do? Just quit, And so speaking of last game, obviously, fumbled, dropped the ball. Um, but when you look at it, it's all things you can fix. And so when you put it into that perspective, it's like, okay, let me just focus in. Let me lock into those small details, things I've been doing since the age of 6, and so it's just adversity at the end of the day, and you have to really love it. You have to buy into just that adversity. You can't be scared of it. You have to face it, one on one, knowing that because of this adversity, I'm going to get stronger. Because of the adversity, the team's going to get stronger. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's the way I look at it. When you go through challenging times, it's just like, thank you.
Mm.
Instead of, running from it or why me. All right, thank you. Let me fight through this, and then and the other side, the outcome is going to be better, just because I went through something.
Blake Corum from the Rams, the pride of St. Francis, with us on GCR. Blake, was there a moment in your life that that kicked in, it hit for you? Was there something that you went through or a lesson that you learned from someone that helped shape that perspective that you now have as a professional?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, my dad being a blue collar worker, having his own business, things always didn't go right. And he faced a lot of adversity, and I'm pretty sure, talking to him now, I know there was times like, he didn't want to keep going, right? Maybe some of his guys didn't show up. He was low on staff, having to, I remember he would wake up, 4 in the morning, not get home till, the sun was down. And
Wow.
I'm pretty sure, he didn't want to do that every day, especially then, you have some clients that were calling and complaining and this and that, right? And, he had no other choice but to keep going, for the family. And so when I think about my dad, I think about a guy that, has gone through many trials and tribulations, a lot of adversity, but, never folded, always, faced it, up front, never ran from it. And he's become a better man, better businessman, better father, leader, because of all of that. So, when you talk about a game I've been playing since the age of 6,
Pales. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I'm
I get
saying?
that.
Like, yeah, there's going to be adversity, but when you put it into perspective, there's a lot of bigger things going on. But for me, football, I love it so much, and so you want to get better, and because of the last game, I'm better for that, and now I've had a good weeks of work. What I'm saying? The team has had a great weeks of work, and we're going to be able to come out, Sunday and prove that.
What you just said there, because we are dumb guys that do this for a living, right? Like we are just idiots that
I don't
yap.
know
They
about
they
them,
they
but
give us microphones and we just say whatever. And one of the dumb things we say is, "Boy, I'm worried about a Rams team that we know is really good coming off a loss and what that does to them." And it's sort of dumb because inherently you guys want to win every game, right? Like if you were
right,
coming
right,
off a win, you were going to want to work your ass off to win the next one. But
right.
what does that do when you suffer a heartbreaking loss the way that you guys did as a team? Does it lead to a different kind of preparation, a different kind of outlook during the week leading up to a game?
I think it just allows you to refine your focus. You know what I'm saying? The goal is still the goal, and that's to win every game. So I wouldn't say it changes our perspective on that. I think it just allows you to refocus, you know, and work on the things you need to work on so you don't beat yourself or so you don't make the same mistake, right? Because mistakes are bound to happen. Mistakes are going to happen every game. Flags are going to get thrown and whatnot, right? But it's how can I not make that same mistake again to put my team in the best position possible? So you don't change much, right? It's not like we're all hoorah, hoorah, we're changing
Hmm.
everything. No, we're a good team. It's just little things here and there that we need to fix so we don't bite ourselves in the foot and we can play as one and play a complete game. And yeah, like you said, every team wants to win every game. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like one week, we're playing this team and we're going to practice super hard and the next week playing this team, we're going to back off. No, we're always practicing hard. We're always staying steady, and we're treating each team, as its own. We're not looking too far ahead, but it's just allows us to, really focus and lock in on the things we need to improve ourselves.
With that in mind, I imagine you guys are not like talking at all about everybody, back here, all we're talking about is who's not out there for the Ravens right now. I imagine y'all aren't getting caught up in any of the rat poison about who's playing and who isn't playing for the Ravens this
Not,
week.
no, not at all. We just know we're going to play a game.
I understand that. That's what you got to do. It's nameless, faceless. I understand how this works. Just go in. There's obviously like, the Ravens, it's not quite as many as there have been over the years. Like you did play with the Jabbo at one point, right?
I did.
Like,
I played with the
yeah.
Jabo, yeah. Yep, yep.
So like, if he gets a lick on you, like will there be any chatting afterwards on Sunday? What's that relationship like?
Maybe after the game. Jabo has always been kind of a quiet guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of like myself. I
I
don't
was gonna
really
say
talk too much.
you're not really a big trash talker, right?
Nah, I'm not, man. I like saving that energy.
Are
Like
you
you really, I really had to be in the moment. In the moment, you had to really say something for me to even say anything. But I'm more so just letting the my plan do the talking.
I appreciate that. Biff, right? Getting the
Yeah,
opportunity the
yeah,
last
yeah,
few weeks, right? And has the spotlight
yeah,
on him. And, every time he's in this spot, I feel like the country is reminded of just how unique of a character Biff
yeah.
really is.
Yeah, no,
Um,
he's one of a kind, man.
Oh, and I imagine for you, like you're not like I feel like people are always like somehow surprised that like here he is coaching a Big Ten team and winning games. I imagine for you, like you don't I think people don't realize because he's such a character, what a good coach he really is.
He's a good coach, but he's an even better leader. And I think that's what you saw at St. Francis, right? How he led him and Coach Masai both, in the whole coaching staff, but how you led a team that in a school, right, that didn't have much.
Yep.
They didn't have much at all, and got kicked out of
Yeah, I was gonna say through a
MIAA.
time of tribulation, right?
Yeah, and then having to play a national schedule and this and that, but we did what we had to do. But that goes to speak about who he is, and I got to see him actually last weekend. But the same dude, good dude, man, loves ball, and he's a character. That's what you love about him.
We always hate when he ends up back at Michigan because it means there's going to be more St. Francis kids going that way. And that's tough for those of us back here that would like to see a couple more end up at Maryland. Like, we are really crossing our fingers about Zion. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, right,
we
right.
got to just get you on campus somehow, some way. That's what we're worried about. Blake Corum, man, it's awesome to see you and the success you're having. And it's going to be really cool. You know how this goes, right? You know we're rooting for you. You understand that. Just
No, I
not
appreciate that.
on Sunday. Like that's the way that it works. Every other game you play, we want to see you run for 300 yards. But on
Yeah.
Sunday, it's just a different feeling. Um,
Nah, hey, I understand. I understand.
at Blake_Corum on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And then what about on Instagram?
Blake_Corum 24.
Very cool. Blake, continue blessings and health and success to you, brother. And
No, I appreciate that.
enjoy your week back here in town, man. It's gonna be awesome to have you. Thank you for
No, thank
spending
you.
time with us.
No, you know it.